Hey everybody, just a quick content warning for this. We're going to be having discussions, very adult discussions regarding essay allegations and manipulation and things like that. So if you are in a vulnerable place, you could probably skip this one and we'll catch you in the next one. Please take care of yourself.
But I let him have it for this. He told me, he's like, well, just spread your legs. It's not a big deal.
Hey friends, thanks so much. Welcome back or welcome in if you're new here. I went back to, this is from 2021. It's a video that was about 5 hours long. It was a TikTok live that Kimmy, also known as Piggy Stardust, uploaded to YouTube. And I just wanted to pull some highlights so that we get like a little bit of a better understanding of what life was like in the Paradise House back then. Because I feel like we are hearing so much from Stefan, and we're not really hearing from anyone who had bad experiences there. We're only hearing from Stefan and the women he props up around him to speak on his behalf and to cape for him and to smooth things over for him. I wanted to actually hear from women who lived in the house and from women who were very close to women who lived in the house who have heard all of the stories. Apparently, there was a Discord of people who have left the house, and there were hundreds of people in it. So I think, or maybe 100. I'm not exactly sure. It was sort of an interview. It was really more of a rolling conversation. So there, it's not segmented into different things and like question and answer things. It's really more of a rolling conversation. But I think it flows pretty well, and hopefully things are pretty clear. Just so you know who the players are, Kimmy, also known as Piggy Stardust, is the host. There's a woman with blue hair. She goes by, I believe, either Ivy or Jinxie. I think it's just Jinxie in this. There's a woman with orange hair. She is Porky or Pork Chop. That's her name. And Porky does sound like quirky. So I kept kind of getting that back and forth. And then there's another woman who's blonde with glasses. That's Allie Mae. And then there's a woman who comes in at the end with a hoodie that is up. That is Savvy. So this takes place in 2024, in November of 2024. This was a few days before the lawsuit is decided. It was a defamation lawsuit that Stefan filed against Kimmy and a few other people. They go over it throughout the video, so you get a lot more details. So Paradise itself, if you don't know, Paradise is a house where this man Stefan, who has a ton of money and never has to work, owns this house, and he flirts with women online. He brings them in to like live at the house or come to parties, and he creates TikToks and goes live on TikTok, and it has these big beautiful women dancing and doing TikToks, and it generates income for him. He rarely tags the women, so they can't really build followings on their own, which is something that I've heard. And there's another thing that they talk about called bashes, which are they're like parties that feature bigger women, and they have their like weekends sometimes, and they're like pool parties, and there can also be like a shopping element, and they're just like these big massive like parties. So this is really long, so I'm not going to make it any longer. I'm just letting the clips roll. There's no commentary in these, so you don't worry about having to hear from me. I want to let them speak for themselves. So that's going to be it for me. Enjoy.
Based on a lot of facts that I've seen. At the end of the day, Paradise is an account here on TikTok run by one man named Stefan, and he has created a plus-size community. But what this community really is a way for him to gain access to plus-size women so he can get, And while you go to his house, because for the longest time it was all about coming to his house, the safe place, he felt entitled to touching women without their consent. Now, it is very important to realize that while there are many people who have come forward with their own allegations and their own stories, each one is very different. Some come from just non-consensual touching, like belly rubs, feeling forced into situations, where others have talked about just full-on rape. It's important to note that when allegations do come up, they tend to happen in waves because he is so good at basically isolating the situation to just the crazy women or the bitter rejects, and then basically replacing all of them with what he calls the new season until that blows up in his face, and then he has to replace them again to keep this image of, oh, I'm a safe guy because look at all these women who hang out at my house, therefore you as a woman should feel safe at my house as well. Now, I was part of season 3, as he calls it, and he actually sued us for defamation when I was trying to support a few of the women who were coming out with essay allegations of non-consensual touching. And there was another group after us who came out as well with their own stories. But there's another thing. There is evidence to the women who have accused him of talking to them while they were underage, around 16 and the age of 17. And he sees nothing wrong with a grown man in his 40s having inappropriate conversations about teenagers in their bathing suits. The last time the water got a little too hot for him was Aunt Karen got involved, and she was on a live and he joined and he made a fool of himself. And then he went on this huge thing like he always does, where he's going to show all the evidence he has and he's going to set it right because he's the victim in this. But you know what the funny thing is? He never seems to show the evidence. In fact, he actually even set up a live, said he was going to go on this live at this time, at this date, and put all this evidence out. And when that day and time came, he just said, I don't have to prove anything. I'm going to leave TikTok. And then left for a few months until he came back now. There's a lot of evidence to support my claims. There are older TikToks from a year ago. There's also a Mr. Beard's YouTube video. If you just search Mr. Beard Paradise, it should pop up. There's the Aunt Karen live, which she posted on her YouTube. There are YouTube videos of mine as well. And there's all the legal documents, which is under Paradise vs. Howder, I believe is like the main title. I'm so sorry this video ran so long, and thank you so much for listening to all of it. At the end of the day, he's never going to change his predator behavior, but what we can do is share the information to give the tools needed to everyone so they can make their own decisions so they are safe at the end of the day. This is such a good comment, and it fits perfectly to a clip that just fell in my lap today from a podcast you did yesterday. Roll the tapes!
Many times in the past, I have been, I'm not trying to toot my horn here, but I have been the reason why people gain self-esteem.
To anyone watching this video, please hear me out. There is no one in this world but yourself that is going to give you self-esteem, self-worth, which is rooted in self-love, which you're only ever going to accomplish if you do the self-work. It's almost like that's why self is the common word in all of them. And anyone who dares to take the credit should be a red flag. At the end of the day, he can't help but prove our point that he loves to center himself in the movement. A movement, by the way, which was created by Black, bigger women. And this is just a crazy assumption, but I really feel like the last person they were thinking about when they started this movement was a white, cis, skinny male who openly admits that they are looking for women over 6 feet and over 500 pounds.
Right, when you said that, okay. All right. When you said that, okay. Cool.
Just to let you know, we do not give you permission to include us in any of your videos.
Huh?
We do not.
Oh, no, you're not in any videos.
To include us in any of your videos.
No, you're not. There's always going to be some haters. She's probably with, did you see that crazy chick that came up to me and just went all grumpy on me?
Which one? The one
That one over there, yeah. No, the one that just came up to me. It was like all aggressive.
No, I didn't see it.
Look at this exchange right here between Stefan and this person. This didn't happen. He says she groped me inappropriately and was rude. In the live video clip that was recorded, she touched your shoulder and said, "We do not give you permission to film us."
We already know there are some people here that are here with ulterior motives. You know that Monica showed up, right? Oh, yeah.
It's so backfired for Monica because she kicked herself out of the group. She is not, if she shows up at my house, it's on site. Monica was just an attention-seeking, miserable person that couldn't deal with the fact that a group of friends is a group of friends, and a single person like Monica doesn't need to get showered with attention and need extra invitations and stuff. She didn't care for this group. All she did was use this group for whatever was good for her. She used my house to bring people here to do her squashing and feeding sessions. She used us to come here, or Monica came here and she made me film her eating a Big Mac and McNuggets and fries for. What happened with Porky? She turned on us. Like she came here. She came to Vegas without making proper plans. stayed with another ex-friend, stayed with a person that caused huge and tremendous trouble in this group before. And we all got kind of like worried, why are you staying with that person? Of course, there happened like a problem. It went sideways. That person that had treated us shitty also treated Porky shitty. So Porky ended up kind of like, quote unquote, on the street. Had nowhere to go, no plans. So here was I. Hey, Porky, come stay with us. She stayed here for 8 weeks. And you've seen her. You've seen her on the live stream. She was here for 8 weeks, entertaining you guys, hanging out with us. We're making TikToks, producing like some really cool TikToks. I mean, we all thought that Porky was cool, but then eventually it just turned out that like, she wasn't really compatible with the group. Like, we're not a mental institution. We're not like a...
But I'm... It's no secret that I am a petty person. But I'm petty for a good reason. So I'm asking you, no matter where we go on social media, whatever happens with this app, you might help me continue to put pressure on a predator who is known to abuse and use the plus size movement. Check out the name, check out the photo. I'm sure he's going to try and rebrand, because this app has been a main source for him to get access to plus size women who are unaware of all of the allegations regarding him talking to minors inappropriately, SA allegations, mental abuse allegations. All of that goes decades back, because he's been able to basically put himself on a pedestal as a champion for plus size people, but he is a danger. So if you see him on any other app, put a warning in the comment. Make sure he knows that no matter where he goes, it is not a safe place for him to be there. For those who've been with us for a while, thank you. Thank you for supporting them. Thank you for getting their voices heard. Thank you for helping us get through being sued and winning. Thank you for supporting me as I became just an unhinged petty bitch. Mind you, I probably wouldn't have been sued if I hadn't even been on this app. But I also wouldn't have met some of the most amazing people that I met, like Savvy and Porkchop and Allie's and Monica and Heather and Ivy and B and everyone else that I've met in the process. And I just can't believe this might be the end. Who knows what's going to happen? But I just want to say thank you for everything. And specifically, thank you for helping us do something amazing. I don't really know what's in store for me after this, but there's stuff in my bio. Go check it out. Oh, and remember, paradise is not a safe or positive place. Look, we're gonna go down saying this until the day I die.
Because I don't think people realize it's not like people are like signing up to go to an Airbnb, right? This is a man who spends weeks, months messaging you, building up this relationship, this friendship, flies you out if you live in a different state, invites you in for any reason, and creates almost like you're the center of his world as long as you're giving him what he wants. And the minute you take that away, you're just abandoned. So if you really feel like you trust this person and you're coming here to be for a friend and you're faced with this, that's shocking. There's so many
completely different. Oh, as much as I want to name the person that fucked everything up, I'm not going to, because I don't want to do that too. Right. I'd love to, but I'm not going to. Just be responsible for once. So the TV show was initially brought up, at least to me, as the pitch was Stefan being polyamorous. And because he is a skinny white guy, it would be good TV to watch him try to date a bunch of fat people. And that is what one of the producers said to me when we had the interview. And I was like, that's fucking weird. But you know what? I'm not going to say anything, because if this happens, it happens. I don't believe it will, but whatever. I'm here now. The girl who knew the producers had brought this idea up to him and was like, I know these people. We can be on TV. It'll be great. So he agreed. Because that's whatever. I then I think it was like the third or fourth time I'd ever been to the house. I was approached by this girl, and she was like, we love your personality. We think you'd be a great fit. Do you want to be on this TV show project? Because you're local and it'd be easier for you to be here. And I was like, fuck yeah, that sounds great. That sounds like a rad time. I then signed what he called a commitment contract. I read over this whole thing. There were so many loopholes that could have been done. It really had no legal weight. So I was like, fuck it, I might as well just sign this. There's really nothing he can do to hold this against me. I think the worst of it would have been if the TV show happened, and that was a huge if, I had to be part of it in some way, shape, or form. And that was the only real weight it hold. There was nothing from any networks, nothing official, nothing formal. It was just that. And that was something that Stefan and this girl had written up. So it wasn't anything important, really. Over the course of time, I had kept going over there, and this girl I don't know what the fuck her problem was with Porky, but she and Porky had some issues, and this girl just didn't like Porky. I don't know what happened. I didn't want to get involved. That sounded like a whole lot of not my problem. I was just trying to stay out of it as much as possible. And at some point, this girl and Porky just started fucking going at each other. And Stefan at some point said, you know what, we're going to have a fucking roundtable meeting. It's really important for all of us to sit down together and for Porky and this girl to dish out their issues, because we're never going to get past it if we don't talk about this. And he and Cass and this girl and Porky were there, and they had asked me to be there. And I was like, why? Like, are you sure? I don't have anything to do with this. And Stefan straight up was like, well, you're going to be on the show, so I think it's important for you to be there so that you can experience this, because you're still part of the group. And I was like, sure, but like, I have nothing to say. So this girl and Porky started going at it. Porky started getting pretty badly attacked. Lots of really mean things were said between her and Porky. And then Porky left. She left the room and she had to remove herself. Yes, I'm sorry. She did bully you, because there's so much more to it, Porky. And when I tell you, you were right, you were right. We're right. Anyway, lots of things were said. Porky ended up having to leave the room because things got so emotionally rough. And this girl started crying, playing victim, saying like she called me the R word. She said I was a pathological liar. All this just exhausting shit. And things moved on. And then the next like major event show related that happened was that Porky left. Porky left town, and this girl, because she didn't like Porky, came up to the rest of us and said, I want Porky off the show. And I told the producers that. So I'm going to fake a text message from the producers and send it to Porky that says something to the tune of, hey, it's the producers. We don't need you anymore. Good luck. Bye. Good luck with your life. And that was it.
And it's crazy to me because I want people to remember this. When Porkchop made her first crying video, Stefan specifically went on his live and stated she was kicked off the show because she was a drunk.
Like going to the store and making stupid videos. It ended up just being me and this girl and Stefan. And there was at some point, it sounds so fucking stupid now, but we set up this slumber party idea where it was this girl, Cass, Stefan, and myself, and all four of us girls dressed up in lingerie, and then him in just his regular street clothes, and we played a fake game of spin the bottle on his bedroom floor.
Oh, wait, you're muted. Oh, there you go, you come back. You were muted on your last sentence.
Oh, he filmed it all so that he could send it to producers, and they would put it on the demo reel that they were sending to networks.
I mean, like...
What the fuck?
I feel like, in TV, there's always B-roll. It just feels weird.
None of the content that we filmed was ever genuine, and it was all incredibly forced, with the exception of car karaoke, where they wanted me to sing something in their car because that's my thing. That's what I do. It was seeing the screenshot of him saying that he would wish SA on people, because it doesn't matter what your issue with someone is. You don't say that. It was that, and then... just realizing how shitty of a friend he is. I know I said it in Aunt Karen's live. I was hit by a truck in July and my car was totaled. And I went into a really bad depression. My cat was sick. I had been hit by a truck on the way home from taking him to the vet, where he ended up having to stay for a few days. And I was incredibly concerned because I thought he might die. Like, he was really sick. And one person reached out to me. One person, and it was not Stefan. And anytime I would show up in a live, the only question I would be asked is, when are you coming back over? And I just, like, what? What happened.
To run into each other at some point, because I used to go to bashes all the time. And I would never sell the bash as a community like he sells it here on TikTok and in that Discord. And it always concerns me why he pushes that bash so hard to bring women into it, knowing his behavior at these events.
So I have like Discord server anxiety. So if I'm in too many servers, I just have to like quit out of all of them and then restart. So while I was in the Discord for a period of time, I wasn't super active aside from maybe like the first week I was in the Discord. The very first thing I noticed was all of the not safe for work channels that he has. And I was like, okay, sure. Yeah. I mean, if that's the vibe, that's the vibe. I'm a huge like positive safe sex advocate. That's something that I've done and been into my whole adult life. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. We're going to post some pictures, whatever. It's done deal. And the only issue I ever had with the Discord was that one person messaged me without asking me in the Discord first. And I was like, hey dude, go take a look at my shit again because you're not supposed to do that. And then it never happened again. But, well, so at some point, Stefan made a private chat for all of his inner circle people in the Discord, and I was included in that. I do not remember there being anything of substance other than him on his usual spiel of Piggy's bullying me, blah, 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 blah. But it was mostly just for like inner circle people. So fucking stupid. It was mostly just for inner circle people to keep up with each other and more of like a close knit chat. But I really didn't even pay attention to that. So.
Okay, so this is something else we didn't talk about, but something that I've heard from a lot of people that you might know about. Does Stefan have a tendency to talk bad about women after he has his way with them? I think we know the answer. I think we definitely just got the answer off that.
He sure fucking does. And you know, I hadn't realized that he did that until you pointed it out, but he sure fucking does. And I'm sure that he has had a lot of things to say about me, especially after, I think it was like in August, I was like, I'm good. I don't want your mediocre pee-pee. I'm good.
When Cece made her video to clap back at me, and I can't honestly tell you what I said in that video, but for me to make a video about a man who is accused of essaying someone, and your clap back is, I'm telling you his pee-wee is good. This doesn't equate to the same thing we're discussing. Not at all. Like, we're just like on this cusp, like, hey, you're cool, I'm cool. Let's see like what's going on. But you know, even like you could have just left that group and just disappeared. But instead you left that group and you're standing here with the other women, and that's not easy to do. That's not easy to do, especially when you were on the other side.
I wasn't going to say shit. I was just going to move on with my life and pretend it never fucking happened. Until I saw what he did to Porky, I lost my fucking mind. My neighbors must hate me because I lost my fucking mind. You don't fucking do that.
I think yesterday I was making the video, I kept crying because to me...
Oh, I did too. As soon as I read through everything today, like I started crying because I knew some of it from when she was there and we talked about it. I did not know all of it. And I know that, you know, me and Porky have had our shit. And I don't know if, you know, my existence is triggering for her. I don't know where we stand, but the fact that like it was that bad, are you fucking kidding me? You don't do that to people.
There are so many women, and this isn't to say that they're like, this isn't to say that people are broken or less whatever or whatever, but I think it's important to realize that the majority of people in this world suffer from some form or struggle with mental illness. And Stefan, to create a place for bigger women who do have more of a tendency to struggle with mental health because of the society around us and the hate and the pressure and things like that. It is so mind-boggling to me and infuriating that a man would then find a woman who is sobbing, completely broken down as a person.
If that happened the night that we had the big group talk with everybody, I swear to fucking God. Because if that's when that happened, and I just, like, I can't, like, I wish I had known so that I could come in and kick his fucking ass, because I would have. Like, I wish I had known.
And I think that's the thing, too. It's just, there's so many people who, he can sit there and he can weaponize other women's essay experiences, which is horrible. It's absolutely horrible because this is a man who is literally taking the very few people that would understand what Pork Chop went through, what other women like Savvy and Allie went through. And I can't even imagine how many other women who haven't come forward and trying so hard to negate their feelings and victim blame and victim shame them. And I think that is really what hurts the most. It's just the fact that these are other women and you can't even be mad at them because, again, it's one man who is literally behind them, as you said, saying
he's making it into a competition. He's really making it into a competition.
No, I don't even think Stefan was. I think Stefan has been able to play the line so perfectly because he works in a situation where this is not acceptable, but excusable, right? Like in the bash, it's not like, if a lot of women feel like when they get maybe grabbed, they don't really have a say because there's other women who allow this. So they don't want to damper the party or be the wet blanket. So it becomes kind of this situation of in the bash, you just have to join us in this acceptance. And I feel like that's what a lot of women from the bash were reaching out saying, I never would have slept with him. I never would have allowed this behavior, but I did. And it's just like,
don't beat yourself up about it. We fight so hard as females. We've come such a long way to be heard, to be respected, and sadly, there's still a long battle to go.
It's unfortunate. It is a huge mountain to climb. But you know what? We're fucking climbing.
And thank you again, everyone. Thank you for the gifts. If you don't know what we're discussing, there are 2 documents in my link regarding 2 replies that we have issued to Paradise One, who is suing, not Jinxie. I just want to make sure that is out there. Jinxie and Pork Chop have not been sued yet. The girls who have been sued is myself,
Knock on wood real quick.
and Allie Mae. Well, if you do, I have a great lawyer for you. Savvy and Allie did come forward with their own essay allegations. Pork Chop has now joined them by sharing her story. And Monica is also being sued along with me, basically, because on our end, we were supporting the women coming forward. And Monica has her own stories, which I think really, really line up with a lot of the emotional abuse that other people experience in that Discord, that women are experiencing, depending on their relationship to the Discord or Stefan. There are women who don't even make it into the inner circle, who leave the Discord purely for other men, because other men are harassing them. There's people who left the Discord because of racism. I think Sunshine in a video talked a little bit about that. There's just a lot of different reasons. It's hard to group everyone together into a bowl because it's so vastly different towards people's experiences. Because in the legal documents, we're being sued up to $1 million because he lost his TLC contract, and he says it's my fault.
There was no TLC contract.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, I've very.
If you want the emails to the brokers that they were working with, I'm more than happy to pass those on to you. I'm also more than happy to take screenshots of the emails that I have from them, but there was never a TLC contract. To your question, it's just his parties are very much centered around like relations. As soon as he's off live and they have like Paradise After Hours, he makes it very clear that you don't have to if you don't want to, but you are encouraged to be nude in his pool. If you are comfortable enough with that, if there's anybody that is not comfortable with nudity, of course everyone has a suit on, but more often than not, as soon as the live goes off, clothes come off. And I'm not saying that there's, sex.
Go off.
Yeah, when the live goes off, so do the clothes.
One time I was on live, and literally I was playing music so loud, and things were happening. Jesus. And somebody was like, "What was that noise?" And I was like,
I remember that.
And they were like, "I hear something." I was like, "Yeah, my music." The jam.
Yep.
And then they were like,
I remember the next day you were like, I had to like panic.
Yeah, people were like, "No, I still hear something." I was like, "End live." And then somebody wrote me, was like, "Why did you end live?" And I was like, I
don't know what happened. It was so weird.
I was walking, and then all of a sudden, fucking screams from the house. It's who the fuck is we? I ain't doing that shit. You ain't talking about me. Like, literally, like, I am so fucking, like, exactly, so confident and so strong. And I'm like, I ain't, no one's preying on the fucking weak here. And then I just, like, I think to publicly answer this one. So does he sleep with any and everyone that goes to the house, or all of them just friends? Let me tell you that every single time that somebody came into the live and said, "So what's going on? What's the situationship? Does he sleep with them, or are you just friends?" And every time he said, "Oh, we're just friends," that was a bull-faced lie to your fucking face, because chances are he slept with everybody but maybe one person in the house at all times. That's one I'd love to answer, because I really hated. Oh, let me add to it. Does everybody here watching 70 people? Does everybody know that I am a diabetic? Because if you don't, I'm a diabetic. And one of my favorite things is when Stefan was like, "Does anybody in the house have health issues?" Now, I know it wasn't his personal one to speak upon my health issues. Like, I understand that. But also, like, instead of saying, like, that's not my business or my personal information to share, he would just say, "No, we're all healthy fat people." And I was like, I'm a diabetic. If I eat too many candy bars, I'm just like, or same with the COVID vaccine. I stayed for 8 weeks and I wasn't vaccinated. And every time somebody would ask, "Oh, we're all vaccinated here." Except me.
I think you were there though before the vaccines came out.
No, the vaccines came out before I even went on my road trip. And I was scared of it.
Well, I fully acknowledge, and I haven't been able to do this in a public setting because I just haven't taken advantage of the public setting. That, like, I don't like the person that I became when I was hanging out there all the time. There was this, like, constant pressure to always be on. And like Jinxie was talking about how like she throws up when she gets stressed, and I do the same thing. And I was just constantly getting sick over there, and I was constantly stressed, and I like shut down when I'm stressed. And I like shut down and I shut people out when I'm stressed. And so like I fully acknowledge I don't like the person that I became while I was there, and that like I apologize to anyone that I did hurt if when I was there, and that was the case, because that was never my intention. So but going back, the reason I say that person's definitely on Stefan camp is this is a text from Stefan when I called him out for trying to ban us from the bash. He said, I will not interact or engage in any kind of friendship with anyone that still talks to Monica. She is like the convicted child molester or murderer. She is downright a criminal with what she did. So yeah, I won't let anyone close to me who engages with that.
And what did Monica do exactly? You mean come out and support women who are speaking against Stefan? Or was it the fact that she herself finally felt strong enough to talk about the emotional abuse she experienced at the hand of Stefan?
Emotional abuse from for the people in the back.
However, when it was brought to my attention, of course I tried to, implement a change in that. But
I mean, and even Monica has heard it from me. Like my invite while I was there, like I lacked invites to Monica because there's always chaos. I was never, you can hardly breathe in the environment. I remember one time I couldn't even shower at the end of the day and my feet were so black, and literally right in front of my bedroom is the shower. And I was like, I just can't even. And I like went to the bed and I didn't even want to like put my feet on the bed because it was white sheets and they weren't mine. So I was just going to sleep with my feet hanging off the bed. And then the door was open and live was literally in my face. My stomach was hanging out. My feet were off the bed, black as shit. And my door was just open and TikTok live was in my face. And I literally was just like, I just want a nap.
That's just so ridiculous.
Like bedrooms and bathrooms should have an assumed privacy.
Yeah, like
it's correct. Which is correct.
Also, I want to ask a question of Pam.
But every day I say I have a new trauma response. Is this today's?
Probably.
I wanted to say like it is his house and I was his guest and like it wasn't nighttime and I feel like he knew I wasn't sleeping, but like also I swear to God, you've never seen someone move as fast as me pulling down my shirt over my belly, my giant ass belly, and because like all I heard was walking and I was like ah! So like then I was awake.
People said that she used to clean up his messes. And they've been friends forever. And she came on TikTok and she was acting dumb. And she was trying to basically defend Stefan. And then when Stefan posted pork chop naked on the thing, she was in pork chop's comments telling her, well, why would you get naked in his living room? And like attacking her and victim blaming and victim shaming on his behalf. And I don't know I can't remember what her name was, but she's like long-term friends with him.
Pam mentioned that Erica was on his Truth Live. Stefan invited me to the Truth Live, wanting me to vocalize that whatever. He's like, I've never sexually assaulted you, SA'd you. I was like, I need you to, like, you wanted to come do that. And I was like, okay. Poor Keith's face.
And as you guys heard, that is word for word what he was saying to Jinxie too, to try and get her, except for he was also adding the fact that she knows what SA is, and that she clearly understands that what these women are accusing him of is not SA.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me because you would think he himself, as the man who is being accused, would maybe make a TikTok and fucking address the allegations instead of trying to manipulate women to be his alibis for shit they weren't even there for. Like, you would know that I was not answering that door, and we on live were all hysterically laughing. Like, this man was like banging on my door like crazy. And Stefan, who's clearly watching this live, is messaging Allie Mae and telling her like, he was like, you better tell her that I'm going to be adding evading charges to her and get her, like, what is her name?
he was trying to get her to reach out to me to be like, what is her real name? Because I told the person, well, he had pronounced my name wrong.
He did.
My last name is Howder. It's German, you moron. It's fucking German. And the guy, whatever, like said the last name wrong. So I said, no, sorry, wrong house, doesn't live here. And Stefan was just like, what's her last name? You get her last name for me. I definitely because the things he says is just like.
She said, I don't even think his lawyer is going to believe he's going to win.
Well, like, here's the thing. This lawyer took this case knowing that he wasn't even licensed in Nevada.
That's what took him so long to say. That is what took him so long to file charges.
Yeah, he had to go find someone else that was licensed to sign on to the case. Like, that should already tell you this is not the lawyer for you.
But I made 5 videos about it. Hilarious. I wish you could see them, but TikTok was like, nope, nope. and they took them all down, and then they gave me a notification, was like, sorry, your whole account is gone, bitch.
All down but one. I'm still amazed that one stood up. That one was still there too. Okay, 2.
I was permabanned on the one, which is really weird because I was permabanned for my. Okay, I was permabanned from my whole butt, and then they reviewed my ass, and they were like, you know what, you can have your account back.
That's a great ass. We'll give it to you.
That's this. So honestly,
happened in a short amount of time. So there's a lot of building at the same time as well.
Is there anything from your story that you would feel comfortable sharing more of while you have a platform here? And you can always come back. Like, you always have a platform here.
Well, I do want to answer Alpaca's comment before it disappears again.
Yeah.
So, no, there wasn't originally a community for survivors that then became bad. It was a community that was for essentially like support for plus size women and plus size people and just supporters. It's supposed to be this like safe space. That's how it was originally kind of portrayed. And then it very quickly became very predatory. And it all just kind of really turned. And now we're seeing all of that like really come to a head with this lawsuit that's going on right now. Stefan, who runs the Paradise community, is now suing there's 5 of you, right? 5 women?
There was originally 5, but we never could find Sadie. So there's 4 of us together grouped.
Okay, so suing that like 4 women, and he's suing them for supposedly defamation and slander, just for sharing their experience out at his house. Some of which was SA, like inappropriate touching, and non-consensual touching. Others was like emotional kind of abuse, essentially. And so that's kind of all coming to a head right now. And then you're also getting other people's now sharing their stories and how it's been a whole history of this in his life.
There's been, especially, there's that in person, but also a Discord community labeled the same and ran by the same person. The whole community as a whole, we have to talk about the Discord part of it, where that was very active in a toxic community for the last year, and to where hundreds of people online came together for the same sense of safe space and community. And so many persons involved completely smashed down, hurt, emotionally abused, and left just pulverized to coming into something that is supposed to be so safe and met a lot of people, and that toxic community being able to break apart those friendships.
Just another one of the trolls I've blocked before. But I want to make it very clear that while Jinxie has her own experience and she was never pushed into weighing, there are other people who said that they were highly pushed into weighing themselves, or that there are other people who were from Vashes that remember having to get on a scale before going into a house, are just a few other personal experiences. Everyone has their own personal experiences. It does not mean that someone is lying or wrong. It's just there are a lot of different women who over 20 years have had experiences with Stefan, and in different environments, different situations had led to different things. One of the things I'd like to point out is he absolutely loves going to the heart attack grill, where you do have to get on a scale. And there is, from other women who have been there with him, have felt that they've been pressured to be on that scale, or that there was just an expectance to weigh yourself.
Up there. At his house, he does have a scale Hi, Craig. Thank you. And he doesn't like, it's not a requirement that you have to go on it. But it's very much a, oh, look what I have. It goes up to whatever number. I think it's like 700 or something. You don't have to get a home scale that goes up to, numbers you can use. You should check it out. It's just it's very much this like, hey, go look, go do it. And then it kind of becomes this like, almost, then the other girls are like, I remember being asked to like, hey, will you go on it? So she feels comfortable to go on it. And so it just kind of like we talked about before, where he uses somebody to get somebody else. You know what I mean? Greg was iterated in Porky's statement. You'd get on there and I'd look down there and he'd be like, oh no, you're too tiny. Like, you're just too tiny. And it would be like almost as like belittling. Like, oh, you're not. He's like, do you want some snacks? Do you want? And I was like,
Little
okay,
booty.
feeder. But I'm not a feeder.
Little booty.
Yeah, the little booty comment. Yeah.
I heard the little booty comment so much from different people.
Yeah. There was just so much that happened when I was there. I feel like one of the things I saw the most repetitively was, actually even before that, going back, I feel like in the time that I was there, I definitely watched this change happen, right? From when he was just like little baby TikToker to like starting to grow and get more popular and gain more followers. And he went from this like, he always had a lot of confidence, which I don't knock anyone for having confidence. That's a good thing. He definitely went into this like overly confident where he was like, oh, well, I'm famous. I can do what I want. I can get who I want. And like watching that kind of transition, like mentally, was part of like, as I started to pull back as well. Because I was like, that's not really who I want to surround myself with. So with that, he would have these parties. He started throwing these parties. Like when I was there, he started throwing parties. And, it's a similar situation to what we saw with Savvy and Allie, right? Where they would be flirting before they met. They'd be flirting online. And then they came out to visit. And it just, they didn't want that. It was more of just like an online flirtatious thing. But in his head, he assumed that flirting was consent. However, it was not. And so he'd go there and he would do what we saw with everyone else. He'd go and touch their bellies. He'd touch, like, rub their butt, touch them wherever. And me, I was at the time I was the face, like the female face that they saw a lot on the lives, I should clarify. And they would come up to me and to be like, hey, like, can you tell him to stop touching me? I don't want this. And so I'd have to go to him and explain all the time, like, hey, just because you flirted online does not mean you get to touch them. So then when I saw when Savvy and Allie came out, I was like, yep, that sounds exactly like what's been going on there. And so, like, everything that's come out has just been validating of what I already experienced there and what I saw there. I specifically remember a couple that came to visit. And I guess it had been, like, arranged that it would be, like, a swap kind of thing, but that was never discussed with me. And so...
Wait, were you supposed to be part of the swap?
Correct. And so I kind of figured out what was going on. And I figured out what was going on. I had all the discussions. They go upstairs to like get ready, and I go to Stefan, who's in the pool, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to do this. This is not. And his response, and I let him have it for this. Like, I did not just let this slide by, but I let him have it for this. He told me, he's like, well, just spread your legs. It's not a big deal. And that was like my biggest, like, no. And when I say I let him have it, I let him have it for a while.
It's just crazy to me that to me, it's such a red flag. It's such a red flag. Because if he as a male had pure intentions to really build a community, to really support people, why does he feel like he has to have a woman face to bring these people in? If your intentions were true, you could work with a group of people, you could be the face, but it just feels so dishonest knowing that he's always standing behind one woman that he constantly puts in front of those lives to bring in other people. He's dumb enough to be watching this and then texted you.
He's typing it.
Who is? Wait, hold on. Please, wait. Are we saying right now Stefan is watching and telling you he's watching?
He's typing right now. This man and his tiny wee, but his big balls apparently.
Fascinating. Let me text back for you. No. Sir, is this a manipulation tactic?
Do you really think that this is the time, Stefan? Do you really think?
We are engaging in what we like to call the community of survivors from your fucking community. So if you'd like to take the closest big object and shove it somewhere, fucking please exit our support group.
I would also like to just make sure that you get this real fast, Stefan, from Jinxie. This is your notice that you have 5 fucking minutes to get all of her videos off of your pages. All of them.
2.
And if you don't, there are 60 people in here. And I will guarantee I will make way more videos. Way more videos calling it out.
Do it.
You tried to turn her against us before she could even get to know us.
Let me hear the roar. No, but also let's go back to
East Side is where it's at, man. Sorry.
Did he stop texting?
I just responded to him, so.
What did he say? What did he say?
Did she say, yeah, what she said?
This whole story. However, there are multiple people that were around and knew.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. It's my favorite. It's my favorite response. Let me tell you all a story about a mouse named Lori. Yeah, Lori is a mouse in a big brown house.
Yeah, also, to clarify,
money flow.
He never made me do anything. That is true. He never made me do anything. That is true. He requested that I do, but he never made me. So I want to clarify that for everybody.
Oh, yeah, especially some.
What?
Did you ever feel pressured?
Oh, yeah. But I want to clarify that because he sent me in all caps. I never made you do anything. He's correct. He never made me do anything. So that's correct.
Buddy, pal, predator, in my opinion. You telling a woman to spread her legs when you made a deal to do a partner swap so you could get your wet, you don't have to force someone. That's just fucking disgusting, you vile human being. That's that. I don't give a fuck. Kind of like when you told a woman when she said no, that if you had a 25% chance of getting laid, you were going to take it. Because you don't care at all that you make women feel uncomfortable. You don't care because you've admitted you don't care. You literally said, oh, I made a few girls uncomfortable. Whatever. For over 2 decades, you have been able to touch women without consent and think that this is okay, even though multiple people have dedicated energy and time to try and get it through your stupid little brain that it's not okay. Well, guess what? You've met the piggy bitch. You even gave me that name, and I love it. And if you thought this was bad, it only gets worse.
What was the code word you guys used for that other site that gets banned on TikTok?
Oh, the Pans Only is what I called it?
Yeah, okay. So
Only Friends?
Update on his Pans Only Friends. He has deleted the content, and now it just says, yo, everyone on here follow Cass. I'm currently not using this account. Find his content on her account. And he deleted everything else, so.
It's interesting, because I think it was Tatiana who was an Aunt Karen saying that he's never, ever owned one of those. Do you think you would have done cruel things with him if there wasn't that pressure we were talking about earlier?
Is that directed towards me?
Like, yeah, either you could answer that. I mean,
honestly,
because he wants to make it so clear that he didn't force anything. But I want to make it clear, by law, federal law, coercion technically does count as force.
I will say that doesn't apply here for me. Like I said, I saw a change in him from when I first met him to then when I was gone. And like, if I had met him when I left, like that time, it would have been a different story.
You know what I mean? Pressure there, if there was not that like unspoken standard, or not standard, but unspoken understanding that that's part of why I was there, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I will say the environment of the house has definitely changed. And like I said, I watched that change. It used to be a lot more. It became more civilized, like more energy. You know what I mean?
From the first day that I was there, I walked in and there was this like air in the house. So I really hope my mom's not watching because she loves to creep on you guys' shit. She's so invested in the drama.
I know. I've been like,
I mean, she probably won't if she's watching, but I used to do SW. I did for a very short period of time, and because of that, it freed up a lot of things for me. One of those things was being able to go to not safe for work clubs here locally. And of course, you go to one of those clubs, there's an unspoken understanding that something might happen, but you're going to get flirted with. You're going to get approached. Like, that's right. Why you're there. There was that same air and feeling the moment I stepped into his house. It was like a fucking club.
And like I said, I've been at all these events. I know what these events are. I know the group. And if you were to go into any of those events and act like that, every
you get
man
kicked out immediately.
Right. And it's just shocking to me. And that's why it's like, that's why people are like, how dare you shame him? 100%. If you create an unsafe environment, even unintentionally at your house and at your business, it is your responsibility to take whatever measures are needed to protect the people you're welcoming in.
And the fact that somebody was part of his friend group for fucking months, since I think she was there since January, and she had been accused multiple fucking times of not understanding or respecting boundaries, touching people inappropriately, making people uncomfortable, including myself. She had been spoken to many fucking times, and she was allowed to stay. So what does that say about him? You guys are not allowed to post his side of the documents, are you?
Yeah, it's all public. It's all public information. If you have the court number or the case number, which is on our documents, you can see his too.
I will be doing that at some point.
Yeah. He really hates that we posted it publicly. Like, really hates that we posted these publicly.
Oh, yeah. Dude, the moment that the fucking court documents came out, I was over at his house. I was in his pool. We were all just fucking hanging out, and he was live. And all of a sudden, there were all these comments on his live, who I'm assuming were from you guys, about like, hey, you guys should go check out these court documents. And he started fucking panicking and was like, can you look at this? You know legal stuff. And I was like, I don't, but I can look at it with my eyeballs. And I was like, yeah, this is a lot of words, and I'm not gonna read this. You should show this to your lawyer. Like that seems like the correct course of action.
I feel like he's obsessed with TikTok.
Yes. Oh my God, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
The last time his live got banned, and he was on that like final strike of the permanent live ban, you can never go live again, he went into a fucking funk for days until his live was restored. And like, he had everybody posting videos like, this is so wrong, content TikTok, we didn't do anything. I think my video of that is still up on my page.
Like, the fact that like when I decided to challenge Stefan, I knew that this account could be lost. I don't want to lose it. I love the content I've created. I love the platform I've created. But to me, it's just an app. Okay, so when Stefan did his pity party, what was it? 2 weeks ago? Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. He did that like
party was this.
This was before he dropped the damning part 1 exposing the lies video.
The damning.
You mean exposing himself? Anyway.
Well, he must be really upset that the video he posted about me trying to catch me up in these weird clips that he cut and edited together didn't really work in his favor. But he posted a video prior to that where he was just like acting really sad, and I almost wanted to be like, you know those old commercials where the guy's like, for 5 cents, you can too be part of the Stefan community. If you just donate $5 to the legal funds, you too can say fuck you.
Somebody call Sarah McLachlan. I'm going to steal her job.
Full definition, you are a cult. The definition, a small group of people who have extreme beliefs and who are not part of any established religion. It's paradise.
Hear me out, though. A theory. What if he thinks that he is the religion? So that's why it's not a cult, because
he the newest L. Ron Hubbard?
People are worshiping him, right? Can't be a cult. Technically, it's a religion.
Is he the newest L. Ron Hubbard?
Because that's like, women were literally on my comments saying we would be nowhere without him. He gives, like, I was like,
Yes,
What?
you would. Honey,
He-
yes, you would. You would be so farther without him. Honey.
Right?
Like, it's just crazy to me. It's so crazy to me.
I have a photo of him in a robe that he put on, and he was doing it, and he was like, I'm like the Hugh Hefner of big girls. And I was like,
Dude, he frequently used to call her, at least I guess still does, Hugh Heifer.
yeah, Hugh Hefner. Correct. Well, it's
I
been
have
over
no clue.
because it's when I was still there. And it was because he was creating a website, and there's a website called like B or something. It's essentially a dating
it's a
website. I was like, I don't know what words I can say, so we're gonna go with that. And he was trying to create his own website, and part of that was like, essentially, that's why he was calling it like the Paradise House. And so there'd be like live cams where like you could watch things, and that like he'd have different girls like do shoots and post.
So he's
it.
trying to make the Big Brother house for like a sexy fat.
Correct.
All right. Interesting.
Correct. And so like he even had someone, I'm not gonna use names because I don't know what people's situations are, but he had somebody drawing up like images for like the top of the website, and like he was like designing this. He was spending a lot of time for a while working on this website, and he was like trying to get everyone to do it, and he was gonna have everyone sign a contract, and you were gonna get paid X amount after he takes out his costs. But his costs were like exorbitant. It was insane. Like people I know.
Well,
that
yeah, it's
do
because
that kind of-
everyone touches his thermostat, so his AC prices are really high.
In our response, if you guys haven't read our responses yet, our last response that we filed this week with Pork Chop's witness statement, we also filed another witness statement in that, which was someone who worked with Cece.
Oh, so that was new too?
I didn't read that far on the new one.
Yeah,
that
and
was
because-
a fucking interesting one because I was like, I thought that was there before, and I just kind of like scrolled over it until I was like, maybe I haven't read this. Hang on.
Yeah, all of those that's all new evidence that we have.
Does that talk about them going onto the lives and the accusations?
Yep, because Stefan has in court, or Cece in court has said she has never accused him. She has never accused him of the R word.
Bullshit.
Interesting.
So we dropped another witness statement from someone who used to work with her, who Cece literally worked with to try and take Stefan down. Yeah. So that was another good one, because the thing is, in court, if you are trying to win a defamation lawsuit, you need to prove that you are honest and not lying. And by trying to erase a very public situation that occurred, I mean...
But also there's a screenshot of when he posted in the Discord about being accused.
We issued that too. That has also been entered as evidence.
What a helpful piece.
Yeah. Well, Heather literally told me, when Heather and I sat down, when I made my first video, she told me that if I wanted him to listen to me, that we had to be over video chat, we could not send messages, and that I would have to take notes and then type up those notes and send it to him after the meeting, or I can never expect any changes to occur. And it was at that point that she completely lost me, because I was like, you're telling me a 48-year-old man who's running a Discord can't be bothered to just, I don't know, be mindful that there are some situations that you and BBW Peaches have agreed are issues in the Discord? Like,
I mean,
if
to be fair, I know that she does things like that, and it is because, I don't want to say we, but I think he does have some form of ADHD or some form of potentially like autism or something. Like something is not right, in my opinion. And I think that explains a lot of his behaviors. Like it explains a lot of the things that he does and a lot of the ways he goes about things.
I could definitely see that. I think my thing is more, if someone's drawing an issue and you're on his team, then maybe you, Heather, knowing the issue, should then take the notes. You shouldn't put that on me or any woman coming forward with the issues, because it's not on us to fix the Discord we think is unsafe. It's on us to speak up and hope that the team in power does what needs to be done to make it safe. It's kind of like...
Including, like I said, including Spawn saying, well, I'm German. I didn't grow up here. And that's not an excuse. Yes, there are cultural differences. 100%. 100% there are. However, I have many friends.
He's lived here for almost a decade. You should know better.
He's been here
Also,
over a
I
decade.
don't think you can just run around grabbing people's stomach. Like,
No.
You can't.
It's even more conservative than we are in that sense. Like,
yeah.
But I hate that excuse. I have so many friends that are from Germany that would never pull any of this shit, and it's not an excuse. Like, it's
I
not.
have family who currently lives in Germany who I've spoken to about this, and they're like, that shit would not fucking fly here.
Yeah.
Like, essay is universal. Yeah, I just love that. Yes, I am a predator. Come on in.
had to like Google it because you had the video but it didn't have like the name of it, so I had to like go search it.
I tried to like pin the links so many times, and Monica was having the same issue. I think it's just maybe TikTok doesn't allow links in the messages, and I just got so busy I was talking about everything. So it's just look. I'll tell you this. Stefan wants to say, like, Stefan acts like I am the mastermind puppeteering everyone behind the scenes. That like I have this super control to manipulate people.
He thinks you're the ringleader of the circus.
Right. If I had this control, every article that's been published would be so much more damning, would have so much more evidence and hard facts. All I can do is when people reach out to me, tell them the story. The girls can tell them the story. We can give them the evidence. But honestly, I feel like every article we've had written out was not up to my standards of what I wanted. And it's funny because actually our lawyer is the guy who wrote the anti-slap law.
Oh, wow.
Like, did you know that when you got him? Is that like part of why you went and got him? Or
so Savvy was in charge of the lawyer because she got served first. And her and I got served first. She got served first. She called me and said, hey, guess what? I got served. And I said, well, if you got served, then there's definitely one coming for me. And she's like, yeah, because your name's on it. I was like, oh, okay. And so I got served next. And then I think he kept missing Allie and Monica because Monica was busy or something like that. And Allie was
also they had the wrong name for Monica.
Yeah,
they had her name wrong.
Wrong name. And so like, yeah, so Savvy was already looking for a lawyer before everyone got all their paperwork. So that we would lose our lawyer because he was so mad that we got that lawyer.
What ethics issue did he try to pull?
Stefan wanted our lawyer but refused to pay his fee. That's the paperwork and then put it down and be like, dismissed. Like that's just it.
So Jinxie, there's some stuff to that. So Mark had told us, our lawyer's name is Mark Randazzo, you can look him up. He was saying, so apparently Mark and Stefan's lawyer are good friends, or were like acquaintances. Like when he called me on the phone, he's like, oh, actually his lawyer works at a firm that I'm like friends with. And his lawyer asks our lawyer for defamation advice, comes to him when he doesn't know what to do. So they know that Mark's fucking crazy, right? Either way, at first I was kind of freaking out because I had talked to a lawyer and they wanted a $10,000 retaining fee. And I was like, I don't have $10,000. So I decided to go through Legal Shield, and I was in the process of getting that set up, but they weren't replying fast enough. Mark had messaged me like a week and a half maybe earlier, and was like, well, I can't see your case on the docket, so can you just send it to me somehow? And I didn't reply because I thought that I was going to have a different lawyer. And a week and a half later, I couldn't sleep that night because it was just all, and it was 4 or 5 in the morning, and I message him and I go, do you want me to send it over? I have it scanned. And he goes, yeah, fuck yeah, send it over, just like that. And I sent it over, and that was literally it. That was it.
I love a petty bitch. Okay, I do.
Yeah.
He was in a lawsuit against the studios who make Star Trek, who were trying to copyright Klingon. And Mark on the side of the people saying Klingon is an actual language, therefore you can't copyright it. And he wrote, was it half or all of it? The whole brief, his reply in Klingon. L3 Waxy Wonders was so effing amazing to dedicate their product to us. They sent us like 28, I think it was. There's 3 scents. So there is cherry almond, pink frosted cake, and seaside serenity. But what's really cool is they also added little quotes like, nevertheless, she persisted. And we are never asking for it. And it's not consent if you make me afraid to say no.
So now I'm like, Black Friday. Black Friday's coming up.
And to be fair, when he first sued us, before we even responded with the anti-slap, like we knew the anti-slap existed, but we had no idea what the law was.
We didn't know we'd be getting anything.
We were reading the paperwork of our response, and that's when like we were like, oh, that's $10,000 for everyone. And it wasn't until the second response that we were like, oh.
Per person.
Per person.
You meant from $2,500 each to $10K each.
Yeah.
We'll definitely take care of that. How have you all dealt with the comments, like the people who agree with him saying? It depends. If they are just here to share their own personal experience to say, hey, I know him and he's never done that to me, I take that and I leave them exist. I let them exist on my page because I think every person's experience is important to hear. But if they come on my comments or in this live to victim blame, victim shame, attack, or have no sort of actual conversation just to be here to push Stefan's crap, whatever responses, they get blocked faster than I can blink.
My thing is when I get comments like that, it's really triggering. It really because are you talking to me? Oh, because I did doubt myself in the beginning because I was so afraid. I dropped out and whatnot. And those comments are really fucking triggering. Like the people who ask, "Oh, why didn't you leave? You were there for 2 weeks," and being gaslit and he would never do this. You're lying. You fake those screenshots. Blah blah blah. I just block them. I just delete their comments and block them. That's it. And at one point they were too bad, so I turned off all my comments.
Right. Can I say how much work it would take to fake screenshots? Like, that's too much work, man.
And I honestly tell you, it is infuriating at times. Like, okay, let's talk about the weekend. He wished SA on people. This man spiraled out of control in someone else's video. Not mine, not any of the women who have spoken up against him. This was just a supporter. And in 4 messages, which he says were taken out of context, but it's not because you can clearly read, he wishes SA on people. When he saw that start to blow up in his face instantly, he created a video where he's sitting in front of fire and he's looking like a psychopath, in my opinion. And he's like, when she's about to spiral, he was trying to make me feel like I was the one spiraling when he was literally the one seconds ago had wished SA on people and then deleted it.
First a flag about Stefan you wish you really had paid attention to. The cultish behavior where he had us report people. I just think there was also the shifting through friends thing. Yeah, for sure.
I didn't get to see that part first because I was.
You were the friend.
Yeah. I was the first of many. I think mine was I don't know. It's so hard. I feel like there's so many that I feel like I should have seen earlier. I think it was just the brazen, casual way he approached just any sort of topic, actual content. Like that should have been okay, that's up.
That's why he hates other people having discords, though. In his Discord, right, was because of that situation.
Yeah, that's what created the whole thing. Was when the first person made their own Discord. Yeah, it created a whole insecurity about it.
And see, that's the thing. That's another red flag. And I didn't even know that was a rule. Maybe I should have. But he apparently is really gung-ho about not having anyone else be in other Discords or create other Discords. And if you are so afraid of other people being in other Discords, that makes no sense to me if you're trying to build a community. Because I feel like no one fits into one community. We all have different parts of us that thrive and connect differently. So to try to make a monopoly in a community just is weird. It doesn't sit right.
Oh, it's all about the power. He wants the power.
Yeah.
It's about drive. It's about power. We stay hungry. We got power.
OG. She knew exactly power.
Yeah.
Hours.
How many groups has he gone through since the Discord?
Friend groups?
Yeah, inner circles, let's call them.
Okay, so there was
5.
There was me. And Monica came later, but she was originally part of that one. She was around before I was, technically. And then Tanya kind of took over. Because here's the thing, we've kind of talked about this before, touched on it. He does this thing where he puts people in the situation where there has to be an HBIC, right? And so HBIC, head bitch in charge.
Yes. Okay.
So he basically not that anyone's trying to pursue that, but he pushes somebody into that spot all the time, right? Because then he doesn't have to do things; they do it. So there was me, and then it was Tanya, and Tanya seems to kind of float in and out. They seem to have their issues, but I don't know. I can't speak for her. And Bree's gone now.
Why did Bree leave?
I don't think I can go into that in live. Talk to me
later. Okay.
I don't want to share other people's.
Yeah, it's okay.
But so there's them, and then after that would have been Monica. Well, actually, Monica would have been after you guys technically. But I feel like there was multiple other people that I just don't even know. No, it's not Dasher.
From what I know, Monica left right before. It was starting to leave right when I got there.
I will say this. I take back what I said earlier. Not every person has an open door. Not everyone has an open door. Rita, has a long history of being just as problematic as Stefan, from what I've heard from a lot of people in the Bash community. And there's no open door for her. May her people, the people that she hurt, find the strength to call it out sometime. It's so crazy because it's like every woman takes care of him, right? Every woman cooks, cleans in that house. And it's just, it's mind-blowing. I couldn't believe when he was saying to Cass, I guess her phone was broken, and he was like, we'll start a crowdfunding for you. And she looked horrified. She was like, no. And I'm sitting there like, you can't buy your girlfriend a new phone.
Please.
What was your guys' last straw?
I think you know my last straw.
Your last straw was being sued. Look at that.
My last straw is when we had a conversation with him on the phone and he wouldn't take accountability for the fact that what he did was.
Can we talk about that real fast? Because Stefan loves to say he apologized.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to say how you felt when he apologized?
It wasn't even a fucking apology. It was like an apology. He didn't take and like really didn't. He tried to make excuses as to why he did it. Which one of those excuses is the 25% chance thing, and that he was testing the waters with Allie. He was in a monogamous relationship.
From his Discord.
Yeah, so there was just at the time she wasn't engaged. But you know,
she wasn't?
No, she didn't get engaged till a few months later. In June, I believe. But anyway, that's besides the point. When we tried to talk to him about this situation, he just made excuses for why he did it and gave some half-assed apology. And it was like, at that point, me and Allie were like, no, we're done. Like, no, I'm good.
Exactly. My last
feelings when each of you first left the group, I was terrified. You want to know why I was terrified? Because I was afraid of being ostracized from the community. That's why I was afraid. I was so afraid that people would not want anything to do with me if I left and if I talked about him.
There was his roundtable discussions.
Excuse me.
Had one of those that was brutal. Monica was there. And I'm not going into detail on it. There were people that had like never even met me that were like attacking me, and I was like, cool, don't know what's happening here. And so that's when I left. I was basically told like, they basically told me like, give it some time, think about it, how you want to approach people if you want to come back. And I was like, okay. And I got back and I was truly devastated for a couple weeks because like Monica said, I thought I had these super friendships. I thought I had this great community in this place that I just moved to. And then I realized in that time that I took, that was originally a process how I wanted to respond. That I realized I was like, wow, this was actually really toxic for me. And that I was in such like constantly so stressed and like getting so sick. And like I finally was able to like settle into this house that I moved into and like figure out my own life. And I finally was able to like decompress. And so then it was like finally this relief where I was like, thank God I'm out of there.
He made his own abbreviation what essay means.
Oh.
He was like, support in something. And I was just like, it's not something you can make light of. Like, these are real allegations that people have against you.
And what was that one video that you posted? Where he was doing
He posted a search video. Oh my God. So there was a video he posted, and it had nothing to do with us, right? It was a completely just random video where he had Googled something. And in the Google search bar, you know, the box that drops down while you're typing, which shows your most searched things, it said, what is essay?
So that's it kind of from that 5-hour live. Obviously there's a lot more, and if you want to watch it, I'll put the link in the description. You can watch the whole thing. But I just wanted to pull like as much information as I could so that we can kind of see the other side, because we're only hearing from Stefan right now. And also like Kimmy has, she put out tons and tons and tons of videos, and it's at this point for me to just step in now, it's going to be nearly impossible for me to kind of go through everything. I mean, you know, whatever, you know me, I will, but I just wanted to get like an authentic conversation to hear their side without Stefan stepping in or popping up or having to have a back and forth, to just let them talk to each other. It is actually kind of cool to see. I have my opinions. My opinions do not matter as much as the people who are involved. So, but yeah, so whatever. I'm looking forward to the documentary that's coming out. I hope y'all are too. I'm curious what direction they go in. I hope everyone who was hurt by this heals, and I really do feel for everyone who has lost people. And this is all very serious and it's all very heavy. And I don't mean that in a pun, but kind of a little bit I do. All right, I gotta go. I love you guys. Bye.